All right, family. Black Power. Black Power is the true power with General Cyrus Soon said he kick back, get your mind ready for some information that's guaranteed to be heavy. I'm excited and delighted to be accepting members to not only the Cyrus Soon SETI, but the General SETI YouTube page, two dynamic powerhouse institutions of Black Power, giving you nothing but Black divinity, Black spirituality, and upliftment. I want you to become a member today. I want you to subscribe today. Link for the memberships is in the chat video description. All you have to do, just click it. You get a video introduction, rundown on the memberships, what they entail. You see one you like, you should most definitely join, even if you don't. I appreciate your presence here at the Cyrus Soon SETI, General SETI YouTube page. Continue to engage, continue to advance. That's right, family. The General got a new website on Teachable, uploading a lot of dynamic curriculums, powerhouse certificate programs and courses. First one up, 25 Steps to the Redemption of Definitive Black Manhood, designed just for the brothers by the General. Amazing dynamic program. You should check it out. Get over there to the website and go over the curriculum. It's a dynamic curriculum, family. I know you want to be involved. We also got the Brotherhood of Heru Roundtable live stream where we discussing very important information pertinent to our growth and development. That's what it's about, helping us to develop and to grow. Brothers is sharpening they steel with steel. You feel what I'm saying? Mind, spirits, and this is what we need. And I even got the coaching calls for the brothers. You need that lifeline, then you get General SETI on the line. You feel me? Check it out today, family. And ring the alarm, KingSETI.com online marketplace. We got a lot of dynamic products. We got the t-shirts. We got the necklaces, African and Kemetic. We got herbal tonics. I know we didn't sold out. They didn't bought them out. I got to restock. So that'll be real soon. So keep your eyes open, because we're gonna be dropping a lot of upload. What I'm saying, upload. We're gonna be we is gonna be uploading a lot of new products on the site. So stay tuned. You feel me? KingSETI.com. And to all the family out there, pull the fire alarm, GeneralSETI.com, SETI University, over 2,500 videos, 40 different subjects, all the subjects that you know and love from the General, nothing but classics. Everything in the library is classics. Nobody else got a resume like that nowhere. I want you to get it. It's an amazing experience to be able to unlock that many classic videos on so many topics, man. Is ridiculous. I want you to get over there. It's not another website like it. Got the Poppiness page on Patreon, nothing but fire. 500 exclusive live streams only to be seen on Patreon. I go live all the time. Every video up there was a live stream on Patreon. So no old information, is all fresh out the pack, all new lecture format, too raw for YouTube. If you want it, come and get it. To all the family out there that donated to the General, thank you. Those that would like to donate, the link is right in the chat, right in the video description. Just click it, donate. I appreciate you. Make sure you subscribe to all my YouTube channels, King SETI, General SETI, Cyrus Soon SETI. Rock that notification bell. Get a video a thumbs up. Like it because you love it. Share with your family and friends. Comment. Just don't say nothing stupid, because I will ban your ass. Here we go. Why do so many black people around the world still worship white Jesus? What's the problem, family? Even into this day, you got a vast majority, the majority of black people, if they worship in Christianity, they worship white Jesus. They still, in this late date of our experience on this planet, 2025, the majority, I would say at least 99% of the black people that are Christians worship white Jesus. And it don't, when I say white Jesus, I meant white God. Not just Jesus, white God. Because if you go over there into Islam, Them niggas, assalamu alaikum, assalamu fakum. Yeah, they goddamn worship white Muhammad. They worship white Muhammad. They worship white prophets. Why is it that every denomination that black people belong to, somebody white created it? You know, a lot of people believe they be Baptists, and they say, man, you say, who started the Baptist denomination? Niggas say John the Baptist. You's a goddamn lie. That motherfucker was from Holland. He wasn't no goddamn John the Baptist. That man looked like Charles Darwin. That motherfucker was from damn Holland. So you start, your spiritual daddy is some goddamn crazy looking Cro-Magnon Neanderthal from Holland. Any of y'all got bloodline from Holland? What the fuck is you following a denomination started by some Methodists? Cro-Magnon Neanderthals. Every denomination in Christianity, and crazy as it may sound, even in, the Christianity in Africa, from west to east, from north to south, they venerate a white Jesus. You understand what I'm saying? And just like we seen today with Bishop Nathaniel, they'll stone your ass if you try to say that, just mentioning a black God, nigga, could get you stoned. They have no consideration for black divinity. And that show you why black Americans is at the forefront. We're at the forefront. And I'm gonna tell you, it is the legacy of many great men and women in our communities that have fought to free us from spiritual bondage. We've been trapped in spiritual bondage ever since, and so this is the forerunners. You can't find too many communities where we've given up on the white Christ and in the white deity and all this. You see, y'all niggas love whatever it is. Y'all just yeah, y'all do it, whatever it is. Y'all love it. Addicted to the whiteness. You know what I'm saying? Y'all addicted to it one way or another. You can't get rid of it. I tell you, you find an excuse why you got to stay in league with white worship one way or another. You can't see yourself doing with it, whether it's sugar, flour, salt, cocaine, white women, white Jesus, white men, whatever it is. That's what y'all love. Y'all can't get away from it. And usually the deity is the highest and most profound image in all, and then all the nation. You see, and so when you go to the deity, you most definitely understand the reality of the people's, consciousness and psychosis, being wrapped up in white worship. And so here it is. You go to Africa, and you see it's so profound because you going into some nations where it's damn near you talking about real dark melanin. You see what I'm saying? Then you look up and you come into church and they real dark, and you look up and you see the white Jesus is so profound. You know what I'm saying? The rape of the mind and the spiritual bondage that they in. And all that image has done is caused misery in the land. That just show you how shackled they is. And you wonder, you got to, at least in America, you know what I'm saying? They, even the China man know that. When you go to the dollar store, they at least, they give you a black Jesus. Even the China man will make black Jesus and black prophets because they know we got a certain type of mind. They ain't gonna take that shit into Africa. That's why I'm saying a lot of that shit that they done made over there, they done made it for America. They can't take that all them, even though they don't make them look black. They take the white one and they paint it black, and they put them in the dollar store. So when you go down the little aisle where they got the little statues and shit, you can see they had the white Jesus and they had the black Jesus, and they look just alike. They just took the white one and they painted it black, but you got other, more profound sculptures, where people, they make some beautiful sculptures, and so you ain't got to go to the Chinaman to get that. But in America, you got blackness, you got black divinity, you got a certain level of black divinity that you're not gonna find nowhere on the planet. You're not gonna find nowhere on the planet. In the Black Power community, the African-centered community, most definitely was profound in turning that around. Most definitely profound in turning that around, where you got more people today that are that are giving up on the white worship and the white, the spiritual bondage that they've been attached to. They ancestors and their foremothers and forefathers have been attached to since the beginning of time. It was the greatness of the Black Power African-centered community that was profound in turning that around. No matter what nobody tell you. You see, these motherfuckers is riding on the smoke of, our grandmaster teachers. And, that was a decade, from the 80s and through the, 2000s, where that was the highlight of, the Dr. Benz, the Dr. John Henry Clark, the Khalid Abdul Muhammad's, all the greats, Francis Cress Welsing, Ashaka Moose, all these scholars that was on the ground going all over this country teaching, while niggas get on YouTube now and want to speak down, but they riding on the smoke. You understand, of the grandmasters. Nothing, if that era had not come, no philosophy today, I don't believe any philosophy today in dealing with blackness would be here. I just don't believe that. It's no goddamn. So when you think about the pyramid, you think about the lower level, them blocks, them heavy blocks that's laid. I don't give a fuck. See, most people, they look up and they see themselves, but they don't see them blocks down there that then been laid, you know what I'm saying, on the bottom level of the pyramid. You cannot remove them blocks. No, I don't give a fuck whether you agree or, understand what I'm saying, or disagree, or, now you got a new philosophy, but you still using many of the dynamic teachings of the master teachers, but you put some more icing on the top. Now you got a new philosophy. Now all of a sudden you got a new philosophy, but the core teachers that they have instilled in our people, you see what I'm saying? You there's no doubt that you using them, and anybody in their right mind would use it, but you don't like the presentation of Africa, but you take out of it. And that's what people have done. That's what they have done. They've taken that out of there, and they look over the seas, and they take the lowest. That's not even their frequency. We the ones that our frequency connects to, the higher civilizations of Africa. That's us. That's not them. If it was, they right there around, they would connect. That's us. You see what I'm saying? The brotherhood of science and knowledge has been passed down through the ages. It's never mishanded off that baton. You have never seen one civilization. It has been handed down through the ages, and and we are symbolic of the brotherhood and sisterhood of advanced science on this planet today. You see what I'm saying? And so it's through our community that we've opened up the minds of people all over the world. You see what I'm saying? Like it or love it. Like it or hate it. Love it or hate it. But you can't change the facts. And so, so we very much, advise our people to continue to go back and research and continue to dig deeper into the scholarship of our, the master teachers who laid down their lives so that we could be conscious today. It wouldn't be no goddamn consciousness on the level, even though, I laugh at motherfuckers because they think we stupid. You know, what they do, majority of even a cult. You understand what I'm saying? Niggas wouldn't even know none of these scholars. They wouldn't have no idea what it's about. You know what I'm saying? Even if you got an occult understanding of ancient Egypt, it was the African-centered community that even opened up the books. You know, all these thousands and thousands of books and references. You go into the scholarship. You see what I'm saying? They don't have shit that could compare to that. They don't. You can go into the back of all these grandmaster teachers and all these books and references that you could go and study. Name me any other community that can provide that you could go study for yourself. Dr. Ben say, and Dr. Clark, prove me wrong. You understand? When go do the research, they didn't tell you to believe in shit. They didn't ask you to believe a motherfucking thing. They say, hear the books, do your research, and come back and prove me wrong. They didn't ask you to believe in shit. So when you think about it, even these motherfuckers are these occultists, even these white scholars and shit, they using all, and they think they slick because the master teachers are not here. They have taken all the references out of them books, and now they use them. They don't tell you where but nobody had them before John G. Jackson. You see what I'm saying? Man, listen here, all that Gerald Massey, Albert Churchward, all that Kersey Graves, all the radical white scholars that people use, they recommend the African-centered community introduce that literature to the world. Like it or love it. Love it or hate it. Whichever you do, just give it up. You see, and that was what really turned the minds of because the Nation of Islam, they say the black man is God, but they got goddamn Master Fraud Muhammad over there, which is a white man. So they can't goddamn say they into, when you start seeing, when did you start truly seeing black deities? When you saw the black Osiris and the black Ptah and the black Assets and things on over there in Africa, in Nubia, that's when you truly actually seen black deities. You see what I'm saying? Truly from the ancient world. Before that, you didn't have no access to that. You didn't have they said it, but then they fooled you, they tricked you, because then they say this is God. And then you see it and look, it's a goddamn white man. You see? And so, yeah, it was the African-centered scholarship and the scholars that broke your mind up out of that white worship. You see? That's what did it. And opened up, whether people believe it or not, Ivan Van Sertima opened up the Olmec studies for black Americans. Niggas didn't know nothing about no Olmecs until Ivan Van Sertima. That ain't that far. You talking about the 80s. You talking about the 80s. Ivan Van Sertima really opened up. Ain't no month now. Everybody wanted to say the Olmec is this or that. Nobody was talking about the Olmecs. You see what I'm saying? Nobody was talking about the Olmec. Nobody was talking about ancient Egypt on the level of Dr. Ben, showing the deities. He brought the deities to the world. You could go, like when I study, George G.M. James, which is a stolen legacy, even Sheikh Diop, even Chancellor Williams, they got profound books. But when you open up Dr. Ben, he introduced us to the deities, Ma'ats, the Tehudis. He introduced us to the papyruses. You see what I'm saying? The 42 negative confession, the papyrus of Ani. You see the Book of Gates, the papyrus of Hunefa, the Ebers papyrus. You see, he took us to Abydos. He took us to Waset, Luxor. He took us to Aswan. He took us to Abu Simbel. He took us to all these areas. He the one took us to the land where we started to make pilgrimages. You see, to the land. Ivan Van Sertima was taking people down into Mexico, and they was interacting. Wasn't no fucking raggedy ass beef these niggas talking about together. Dr. Ben and Ivan Van Sertima, Man, you could have African-centered scholars, nigga, and you got Renoko, he was over there in India, doing research. You had Ivan Van Sertima in Mexico and South America. You had Dr. Ben in Egypt. You had Dr. John Henry Clark. He all over. He mastered the whole of Africa. He was, West Africa heavy and South Africa heavy in there, in the constitutions, and he breaks that shit down. Then you get all them together, man. Listen here, hey, you give up them teachers for these low life that know nothing ass niggas out here today. Shame on your ass. Shame on your ass, nigga. You going into the white ages, nigga. You going back into the era, nigga, before, you go back that way, it's a wrap. You see what I'm saying? It's a reason you blessed today to have them, that type of scholarship to come your way. That's a blessing, you feel me? And you better not let none of these niggas here today deter you from going back. That don't mean you don't elevate. That don't mean you don't elevate. That don't mean you don't, today is a different day. That means you change the strategy, but the core foundational teaching, you don't have to change. You change today's directive on how to bring it about, and a lot of people get mad at Marcus Garvey and saying Marcus Garvey was in goddamn 1920 sometime, when goddamn it, white people was hanging niggas every day left and right, killing, setting peoples on fire in the middle of the goddamn street. You see what I'm saying? Run in and take your children out the fucking house at night, set them on fire and put them and feed them. And so under that type of terrorism, he say, goddamn it, we got to go somewhere. You understand what I'm saying? And that wasn't nothing wrong with that, even though the reality is it was much harder than, but he didn't, he still saw that was, we had to do something. But, but it's 2025. And anybody that would believe that you would take a 1920 philosophy, which is still a powerful philosophy, the core of it is still all powerful, but it should be updated. You see what I'm saying? So people want to go back and they want to try to beat up on Marcus Garvey as if the philosophy shouldn't have been updated. I mean, it's damn near 100 years later. It should have, strategies are updated daily. And so that was, a lot of cheap shots that motherfucker was taking on the elders, knowing damn well that this philosophy should have been updated. You understand what I'm saying? To include what's happening on the ground today. So to go back and think you really doing something by taking a cheap shot, all these old sucker shots on our teachers who lived 100 years ago, and as if you could just, a lot of that, he said, either you do it now or it's going to be too late. A lot of that was outdated shit, probably in 1940, 1950. It was already outdated. So for motherfuckers to come in 2025 and go and try to beat up on Marcus Garvey and say, look, when Marcus Garvey was trying to get motherfuckers out of here in the day when they were setting black men and women on fire in the middle of the fucking street, you dumb ass nigga. The fuck is wrong with y'all? And so in that time, that was, it wasn't nothing for us in this motherfucker. You understand? They brutal today, and they was most brutal back then. And so under that type of turmoil, that was an option. That was an option, but today we understand more than, that, on the ground, that it's a lot more work. But when you running from fire and you running from a sick maniac over here that's murdering black people wholesale, then shit, you willing to take a chance. You willing to roll the dice. Then today we get over there and we see that them niggas is, a lot of them has been polluted for the last 400 years. So you running from one goddamn, you jumping out the fire into the frying pan in many areas. Yeah, we understand that. We understand that, but we believe that our teachers most definitely would have, updated the philosophy based on the situation at hand. And it's still a way to do what need to be done. You understand what I'm saying? It's still a way to do what need to be done, because on this planet, at one time, it was a global African supremacy. And it happened then, it can happen again. We just got to purify the mind. It's been polluted for thousands of years. These people been polluting, and it's been replicating nonstop. And so, yeah, it's going to take some manhood to get in here and turn this shit around. And a lot of times you can't ask a motherfucker. The same way a lot of times that it happened where to change the people into what they are today, you're going to have to put some fire on some asses. That's what is going to happen. You're going to have to cut some limbs off the tree. You see what I'm saying? That's got to happen. What you seeing, and is not going to be it's not going to be an easy way to do none of this shit. One way or another, it's going to be, some trench work. It's going to be a lot of trench work, but you got to tie the boots up and get in the trenches. Other than that, you're going to have the dilemmas that you having. But again, I just wanted to say that, we are trying to put information out here about Black divinity. You don't hear nobody talk about Black divinity. I always talk about Black divinity, and I tell you, that's where it starts. I teach that my people are divine. You see what I'm saying? That we are the reflection of the cosmos made flesh. When this world came into being, we came with the package. You see what I'm saying? We something different. You know what I'm saying? We are divine. And once we understand that we are divine, then our true destiny will appear right before our eyes. We cannot know our destiny without knowing our divinity. So niggas can teach, the foundation of their teachings can be any. It could be economics. It could be this. It could be that. My foundation of my teachings is Black divinity. Until you understand your divinity and your connection to the cosmos, you don't even have a destiny. You don't even know what the fuck your destiny is. You think what man has put before you is your destiny, and you can fulfill that and still not know who you are. So once you understand your divinity, you understand your destiny. And then when you understand your destiny, it's your duty and diligence that, you know what I'm saying, will have you to develop, a blueprint, that will help you to fulfill your destiny. And it will be a platform that your babies, they don't have to figure it out. They could get right into the blueprint, into the program, and run right up to the top. You see what I'm saying? Of their divinity and their destiny, being the primordials of this planet. We not put here to follow behind nobody. We're not put here to run to one little corner over here. Yes, Africa is our home, but we're a global people. You see what I'm saying? So it don't require us to go nowhere, because you understand we was in control of this planet, especially in the southern hemisphere. Anyway, that was all ours. So it don't require us to run nowhere. We just it's a package that we just open up, is of Black divinity, government, education, you see, nationhood, that you can, a package that you can open up. And that's what we did. And when you look at the Olmecs, you see Egypt, you see the Naga Kush. That's all us. That's evident. That's evident. What these niggas talking about is garbage. It's garbage. It's a current that won't run through the whole southern hemisphere. You see what I'm saying? And all these civilizations was a global empire on this planet. That is the most vibrant, that's the most, flourishing idea, for our people to aspire to. They must start where they at. You cannot start nowhere else. You got to start with your mind. Till you rule your mind and connect to your divinity, you can't help nobody else. When you connect, then you can help your family, and they connect. Then we strong as a family unit. Then the family units that have connected, then they become a community. They become a strong, connected community. Then the communities come together and they form a city state. You see what I'm saying? And once when you got the city state, then you got some. You see, and you could put the cities together and form counties, and in states and nations, but you got to go down to the bare essential of the mind. That's where it starts, with your own mind. And that's when, so we don't tell nobody to go no motherfucking where until you master that segment right there of self, family, community, and city. You ain't ready to go no motherfucking where. When you master that, then you can implant colonies all over the world. You see what I'm saying? That's, you implant them colonies, you know what I'm saying, as a foundation for your people. You see, too many of our peoples is going somewhere and they doing it the wrong way. You got to do it as a nation. You got to send colonies over there that's already connected. They there to lay the groundwork for the family to come over. Too many peoples is moving all over the world, and that labor has not taken place yet. You see, when you send colonies over there, they over there to lay the foundation, to make it better for you. They over there to get the information. They over there to see how you could go, or whether it's a place for you to go. It might not, and it's not for you to leave to go, but you extending yourself. You're not leaving nowhere. You're extending yourself. You're putting your hand because you want your hand to, you want some global control. You do. You want some global control. You want global influence. You see what I'm saying? So you implant colonies just like anybody else. You put embassies and shit. You implant embassy. And so they over there and they lay the groundwork. So when our people come over somewhere, they already, they got family that did that groundwork. Too many peoples is leaving without no groundwork, without no community. And a lot of them have not developed through that self, family, community. They're not connected. So, if you ain't connected and you haven't developed that, and you go somewhere else and you fail where you at, and then you think you just gonna go somewhere else and succeed, that's just not gonna happen. That's just not gonna happen. So a lot of our people, they not doing the groundwork. They ain't doing the trench work, and they not doing it as a community. You see, but that'll happen. That'll happen if they continue to listen. It'll happen. And all the hiccups that you see out there, you gonna smooth them out. It could be smoothed out, believe it. But anyway, family, I appreciate y'all being here today with me. I want y'all to hit that subscribe button. I want you to hit that subscribe button, family. Like the video, share the video, and we're gonna be right back for the last video for the night. Arm yourself with knowledge. Hit some of them links up in that chat. Support the general so we can stay out here waking our people up. Arm yourself with knowledge. Bang on that wicked ass beast daily. Liberation through African education and confrontation. Black power.